When I was 17 years old a few years ago, I first came across the idea of starting or running a business. I always found it really interesting that I was able to make money through business, doing things that I was actually passionate about instead of following the path that was already set for me by society. We all know the path that I'm talking about. It's go to school, go to uni, get a degree, get a job, work in the job until you're 60, and then retire. And hopefully life's better by that point. That always sounded like bullshit to me. And I'm glad that more people are coming across this realization that it's actually fucking bullshit. Planning to retire years from now and working for that isn't really going to give you a better life at retirement because you're going to be old. Your health might be not at its best, and your capability to actually live goes down by that point. I want to live right now, and I want to have the means to be able to do so. I want to find a way to build a business so that I can free myself from this rat race that everyone's facing. Because I know that if I'm on the path that I'm currently on, that's where I'm headed as well. So a couple of years ago, me and a couple of friends used to sit down. We used to talk about what we were going to do with our lives, and I would come up with certain business ideas that I wanted to execute, certain things that completely captivated me, especially things like fitness, training, health, and stuff like that. Even though I was just a beginner by that point, I had only been training for about a year. I developed quite the passion for it, and I was really interested in building a business around that. That was when I was 17, and that was 3 years ago. 3 years have now passed. I'm 20 years old. I've been training for about 4 years now. I've been more consistent than I have ever been. But now that I think about it, now that I sit and reflect on what's happened in the last 3 years, I have to say that I'm somewhat ashamed of myself because I had an idea 3 years ago and I genuinely wrote down an entire plan on how I'm going to execute it and how it's going to allow me to live the life that I want. The life that I actually want isn't completely about money, nor is it completely about power or status. It's more about freedom. As far as where I am at right now, I want freedom. I want the freedom to live my life instead of working through most of it. Don't get me wrong, I love work, but I want to work on something that I'm passionate about. And I want to work on something that actually makes me feel fulfilled. And that's definitely not a desk job. It hurts me to reflect back on this because I wish I had started 3 years ago. It's never the right time to start. There is no perfect time to start. But if I had started 3 years ago, I would be 3 years into running a business right now. Perhaps I'd be more experienced than I am right now. So when you're faced with the decision of doing something, or when you think of doing something, you're faced with only two options. That's yes, I'm going to do it, or no, I'm not going to do it. Unfortunately, I picked the third option, which is the worst out of both of them. Third option was to stay still, was to stay stagnant, was to sit and ponder and think and figure out an entire plan before I start executing things. That's what is called analysis paralysis, or paralysis by analysis, whatever it is. But that's a phenomenon that I've recently learned about. And when it clicked, I just felt incredibly ashamed that I wasn't going all in on business and that I had spent so much time thinking about it when instead I could have just been doing it. One of the things that I absolutely hate in life is being stagnant, staying stagnant. There are phases on your journey of self-mastery where you will be stagnant for a little bit before you figure out your next purpose or figure out what you want to do. You have some time where you're going to sit and plan through things. That some time is okay. But 3 years? Really? 3 years? I could have had a different future. I could have had a different present that I'm living right now. It'd be different. I'd be more experienced. But then again, it comes down to I want to have the perfect plan so that when I execute it, I know for certain that it's going to work out. Well, no one's going to be able to tell you that. No one will. I've gone from thinking like a simpleton to expanding my consciousness and starting to think smarter than most people do. And now it's back to like a bell curve where now it's I have to think simplistic again. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to write down one thing that I'm very focused on. And in fact, I already have. But if you're watching this and you're going through something similar, I'd suggest that you write down just one thing that's bothering you or that you've been thinking about, that you've been contemplating, no matter how hard that is, whether that's a hard conversation you need to have with someone, whether that's a new journey that you want to go on but you're being stopped by the circumstances in your life, or whether that's something new that you want to pursue. I want you to write that down. I want you to write down something that you've been thinking about for a very long time, and I want you to go out and try it, just like I am right now. I've been thinking about starting a business and building a business and helping people get fit, helping people get healthy again, helping people improve and be on the same journey as I'm on, because I think it's genuinely better for the world. It's better for the world, and people are more self-conscious. People are more, well, self-conscious in the sense of people are more aware of who they are. People are more aware of their flaws and what they can do to fix that. It's just overall holistic development. I think that's a great idea. That's what I'm going to do for my business. But I want to go all in because I'm tired of being stagnant. I'm just extremely tired of staying in the same spot, even though I've known about it for years. One of the only things that separates successful people from people that are unsuccessful is latency. Latency is how fast you act upon the idea when you've got it. If I had acted upon it 3 years ago, I wouldn't be here right now starting it all over. I would have made the job a lot easier for myself because I would have momentum by that point. But I didn't. Now, this time it's going to be different. I'm going all in on business. I'm going all in on building this channel. I'm going all in on figuring things out. Because what's the worst that can happen? It's going to fail, right? It's going to fail after a large time window of me consistently posting videos and running that business. But even if it does fail, it doesn't matter. I've learned. I'm not stagnant. I've basically taken the wrong route for my journey. And now I can recalibrate and come back to the right route. That's a lot better than being in a parked car, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all in because I've been thinking about it and I genuinely do enjoy it. It's always been a dream to be making content. So I'm getting that across. Make sure that you're not in this stage of paralysis where you're analyzing things and you're spending too much time planning and not enough time doing things. I think that's going to be like the title of this video. It's just think less and start doing more. Because the best version of you and the best version of me thinks less, does more. We give ourselves too much credit for being too smart, but often the fool wins, and the fool has the better life because he tries, he does things and fails. So try something, fail at it. If you fail at it, you learn from it. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm glad I got this breakthrough within my own reflections. And I hope you can do the same. I hope you've done the same from watching this video. That's it for me for today. Bye bye. See ya.